Get ready for hot takes and insight from local industry experts in real estate, business, and lifestyle. He used to play ball with the Padres. He played hockey for the Lobos. Now they're crushing it in the real estate game. Together, they'll showcase the best of the Duke City. This is All About You, ABQ.
That's right, it's all about you, ABQ. Now, the goal of the show is to highlight the best of our city's industry experts in real estate, culture, and lifestyle so that you walk away with some value and feeling inspired. Now, the way we like to do that is to answer the questions you may have or interview the guests that you want to see. So, we invite you to join the conversation. You can reach out and join our social media tag up here or sign up on our email list to get some timely tips about our community and real estate market. Hey, I'm Skip Adams, owner of Sold by Skip Real Estate Brokerage here in Albuquerque.
Grant Harvey, home loan specialist.
Now, you probably know Grant as the head coach of the University of New Mexico men's Lobo hockey team, but now he's absolutely crushing it in the mortgage space.
Thank you. And we've probably seen this guy in HGTV's House Hunters, and he's part of the top 2% producing real estate agents in the city.
And here's
maybe
why
even in the studio.
In this whole studio, he's number 2.
Yeah. That's a foreshadowing.
Here's why you're going to want to stay tuned. Teresa Robinson, owner of Graphic Bliss, is going to be in the studio talking about digital media, social media, and just kind of branding in general.
So digi in here.
So digi. This is kind of right up our sweet spot, dude.
Yeah, we've always been digi guys.
Yeah, Digimon. And then obviously stay tuned to the end of the show. It's everybody's favorite, Skip's Tips.
Wah, 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 wah. I want that sound effect for everything now. I don't want to blow the surprise, but we have something for you.
Oh, it's going to get hella ranty.
Another wrinkle. What did you do this weekend?
Let's talk about today. First of all, happy birthday to you. My baby, Adeline, is 1 year old today. Today also happens to be moving day, which everybody loves moving, but we've been working on a renovation on a property for the past 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So now we're moving in.
There was, remember your Skip's tip about offering pizza? Like when your friends go, don't worry, we're going to throw in some pizzas. It's like, what an insulting thing. So I'm glad you didn't invite me to move. No. I don't help people move, and I don't help people paint their house.
Yeah, why would you ever ask
And I
somebody?
don't do circumcisions.
Oh, not anymore at least.
I blew it on mine, and that's it.
Blew your load on that one.
We're going to get canceled.
Yeah, we're going to get shit canned. Yeah, so anyways, moving day sucks. I'm happy to be here.
Are you selling any furniture? Some of the times you like when you move, you sort out like, I don't need this rusty cheese grater anymore.
Yeah, who wants to buy this for $100?
I'm tired of tetanus in our tacos.
Tetanus Taco Tuesday. Yes, we have sold a couple of things, but for the most part, we need everything that we have to kind of fill the space. And it's one of those things you just want to get stuff into the house and then see what you want to
I almost want to
later.
show you my bad couches I bought when I was in a bad place in my house. I bought these couches that look like I run a daycare. They could be yours if you
yeah, for the right price.
Yeah. And they can't be found at Country Dan's. Anything you can't find for your house, go to Country Dan's, where it's a warehouse with mice running through it because no one goes to Country Dan's.
Is that still a thing? What is Country Dan's? Is that next to Bios?
It's where you get futons. Where do you get your futons?
Surprised you didn't know that.
Yeah.
Let me see what else did I have in my notes.
Sorry,
I don't know,
Country
man.
Dan, if you're out there watching.
What's new with you, man? Would you take a little road trip?
I did. So I'm a big Edmonton Oilers. Oh, the playoffs have started. Didn't see you there. We have last game of the season, Avalanche and Oilers. One of the team parents, Nick Weaver's dad, Neil Weaver, has these awesome tickets that are, in the lower bowl of the ball arena. It used to be Pepsi. And so we go there, and I bring some of my former players and some that have lived up there. We met, and go ahead and cue that, mark that, describe this picture. Or maybe not. Mark has died back there, so R.I.P. to Mark. So anyways, there we go. So a lot of New Mexico people may go, hey, Grant, you're a super Christian guy. So that is Connor McDavid, and Edmonton calls him Connor McJesus because he's just that good. And then there's my former players, 2 captains, and one of the best goalies ever played for UNM, who looks like he could still save every puck.
Yeah, it looks like he ate every puck.
Yeah. So anyways, the Edmonton dressed none of their starters, like their first 8 best players didn't play. And so it was 4-0 Colorado. And I was like, dude, I am going to leave. Like, this is too much because everyone's screaming. And then they slowed it down. We only lost 5-1. But they rested like all their good players. They would kind of.
Is that a strategic move?
I've never seen a
bold
team
move,
just lose every player because it couldn't have been good for either team playing. So I'm like, yeah, this is get it all in, Avalanche, because
soak it in.
What I do, my favorite chirping is, roasting other people in hockey. People would say stuff to me about the Oilers and stuff. I go, oh man, you're really early for a Nuggets game. Burned you. Go to the first aid tent. What did you do?
What didn't I do? No, let's talk a little bit about current events. Let's switch topics here. Albuquerque's a funny place, and we have a new listing that's out in the East Mountains of Edgewood. And anytime you talk to people that are not from New Mexico, they have like this stereotype of just like the Southwest or even part of the United States, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But how funny is it? I mean, everything that happens in New Mexico happens about 5 years past what California is. We operate way behind the times.
That's why I wear this Ed Hardy shirt still.
Mark, cue up that Instagram video. It's hysterical. But this broke national news in Albuquerque, and there was a high-speed chase.
With Palominos?
Yeah, the cops, this is made it on the national news, but the cops essentially were on horseback running down a criminal through the streets of Albuquerque.
This is awesome. I didn't see this.
Police, stop. And so
I'd be like, I won't because you're on a horse, first of all.
This is our statement. This is unbelievable.
So, I can't see through the horse's mane. Our main man.
Anyways, this guy was shoplifting at Country Dan's, apparently.
Yeah. What was he doing?
I don't know. It's just more funny that there's horses.
Well, what got him on horse? Like, the posse's on Broadway. Bring back to Sir Mix-a-Lot.
If you're on, there you go. If you're on meth, you're not catching me on a horse, right? I mean, I'm going to outrun the horse. But anyways, new listing out in Edgewood, New Mexico. It's a horse property if you got horses.
What I want to know, first of all, what he was doing and where was he in proximity to the horses. And can't you, horses are spooky. Can't you just turn around and go, oh, and they take off and kill whoever's on the horse? That's been my experience. If you're near horses, and if you say oh, triglyceride, they're like, oh, where'd I get? And they just run off and jump over cars. So I can't imagine why, if that criminal got caught,
then you should have got it.
Yeah, you get got.
You gotta get
because that doesn't make it. That's. You know what I don't like about this? This could be a grand stretch. When they bring the horses out, that's cool. The horses don't really want any part of it. And they make them spin around. And then, I don't want to get gross, but what an inherent mess to have your horse presence.
What are you talking about?
When they bring the horses out, in Central or stuff, they do it to patrol. Yeah, and so it's why though?
What's the point of having mounted patrol anymore?
And you have to get up. Can you perform? Can you put me under arrest on your horse?
But I feel like if I fake left and go right, and you're on metal horse shoes.
Oh, that horse is already running through a glass building and he's killing everybody.
I'm saying they have metal shoes on. They're just gonna slip out.
They'll go club, clop, club, clop, club, clop. Yeah. Anyways, you can't put handcuffs on me on a horse unless you go volunteer. Hey, come here. Will you please come here? I'm going to arrest you. Okay. I believe in. Do I get amnesty?
They lasso you and throw you on back of the horse. How great would that be?
That'd be good. I'd be pretty cool.
You, Ace, and Gary on the back of the horse.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, I think that is a perfect segue to rants.
All right, if you got anything left, let's.
There we go. Now we've reached stardom.
The pinnacle of entertainment.
Stardom is what's happening here. Okay, so we're going to talk today about, on my Grant's Rants, traffic and you. Like a Reading Rainbow song. So I'll get to my top 5 things I hate about traffic. One of them in Albuquerque is the guy that after 15 seconds is still going through the red arrow. I feel compelled to be like, it's T-bone time. I want to be in the right car and be like, we're gonna do lesson teaching day and just go into the car and it'll be the last time people pull that move. But sometimes you can't go for a really long time. And they had said this gravy train of cars turning in front of you, and then next thing you know, your taxes are due. Okay, the other thing I don't like in this city is the speed traps. So you've got guys running out of stores and collecting shirts and being chased by Clydesdales, or you know, people's TVs getting, you know, stolen, or cars. Why are we doing speed traps? Isn't that a liberty that you have, like, when crime's under control? You're just inventing crime at this point. Get the current crime that's out there, and then we'll work on the supplemental crime. But I don't think the speeding is our problem when people are just taking, like, stuff from Ross, like the whole like counter, and they're like, you can't touch me, and just coming out there, like, doing, like, taunting dances, and, like, because the staff can't get them, right? We know that. We'll also talk about people locking up their brakes. The guy will be changing a tire, and it just stops traffic, and there'll be like 2 miles, and you'll see like someone doing a spare tire, and you would think that like circus giraffes were on the side of the road. By the way, everyone's just viewing and going, okay, just stop it, move on. Like, big cities don't do this. It's a major problem. The last thing I want to talk about, how are people rolling their cars on Paseo? It's a pretty straight shot. Like, what is happening that you rolled your car? Like, were you avoiding a zebra? How did this happen? Why are people rolling their cars? If you've rolled your cars, you can call me and we'll talk about it. I'll be on the show, actually, how I rolled my car in a straight pass-through. Anyways, that is my grand rant for today. Ching. Yeah. That was off the cuff. And
here's why.
How would you rate that one?
I mean, that was the equivalent.
This is no different than when him and I eat lunch, because I just go, dude, you know what makes me so mad? And he doesn't have a choice. He doesn't get to guess. I just go off.
Here's why you're going to want to stay tuned. We're joined by Teresa Robinson, owner of Graphic Bliss here in Albuquerque. She's got a great story on digital media, print media, and what it takes to be successful in our genre. We got a lot to learn. I'm going to take some notes. John Ra's joining us.
We should have people do like guest rants and be like, what do you hate today? Like, what do you want to get off your chest? What's your pet peeve? Yeah. And I always wanted to have a dog named Pete. Like, that's my pet peeve. Anyways. Ta-da. Do the horn for me one more time before we leave the segment. There we go. We are reaching new heights.
And then stay tuned to the end of the show. It's everybody's favorite Skip's Tips. Yeah. This is a YouABQ. Back to YouABQ. I'm Skip Adams, owner of Sold by Skip Real Estate Brokerage here in Albuquerque.
Grant Harvey, Vision Mortgage, Home Loan Expert.
Joined in studio by Teresa Robinson, owner of Graphic Bliss, which is a multi-faceted production company focused on producing quality branding, entertainment, and events. We have so much to learn. Teresa, thank you so much for joining us.
Did you say Brandy? Brandy work for you?
Yeah, I like some branding.
Yeah.
But, definitely branding.
Branding. Yeah. Oh, never mind. This show sucks.
No, Brandy was a good singer, and sitting in my room was very nice.
Yeah, the poster.
That would be over at the Grants right now. Sitting in my room. All right, and we'll get back to
it.
There's one person.
Yeah, clip it.
Well, yeah. So, anyways, thank you for coming on the show. And I'll tell you, I found her, and I didn't know it was a her. I didn't know anything. I saw this entity with branching out to 15 billion things, and I'm like, this is interesting. So we chatted on Instagram, and I was, went dig deeper, and I'm like, oh my gosh, her hands and everything. Did she ever go to sleep? So thank you for coming on the show.
Sleep is overrated.
Yeah.
But you have a cool backstory, the fact that you grew up here in Albuquerque, Northeast Heights, Highland High School?
Yeah.
The Hornets.
Yes.
I was going to be a Highland Hornet, but then we moved out of the school district, and so I didn't quite get to wear the gold.
Well, technically, I was out of school district. I was supposed to go to Monzano. There was no way.
We want to talk about. We talked about Monzano. I don't think anyone's ever gone to Monzano. Have you ever met a person that said they went to Monzano? I've met two. I think it's just like that. The birds aren't real type of thing. Well, this one actually has some traction.
Yeah.
No one's gone to Monzano.
It's not a real place.
This is where they hire, this is where they do Dion's training or something. But no one's actually graduated from there. Okay.
But yeah, in fact, we're celebrating our 30th high school reunion.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened, but.
How long has Highland been around for?
300 years.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. I think Jesus went there.
We didn't graduate. Teresa, so you had a chance to leave Albuquerque, and you toured a little bit through Southern California, which I did too. I mean, I met my wife in San Diego. Why wouldn't you just stay in California? Why the heck would you come back to Albuquerque?
there's something special about Albuquerque that just cannot be explained. I've tried to explain it to people, and it's really that you have to experience it when you're here. And I know there's jokes about calling it the land of entrapment, but I almost look at that as an endearment, because I think, frankly, once you leave here, it leaves such an impression that it's hard to leave it behind. There's always a piece of you with it. But for me, Fullerton was probably the closest to Albuquerque, but it's just the culture and the food. And there's just so much that is so good here that it's hard to stay away. So yeah, I did my little tour and came right back home.
Well, that's great, and we're glad you did, because I think what you, and maybe I'm wrong, but that seems like it was kind of the birth of, one of your two endeavors. The magazine that you are so proud of is the New Mexico Entertainment Magazine, which I think is cool because it pulls not just from Albuquerque but all through New Mexico. What's going on? What are some of the cool events? Talk about the birth of New Mexico Entertainment Magazine.
Well, funny enough, it happened while I was in an Isotopes game. It was my first ever Isotopes game, and I'm looking at all the banners of all these different, businesses that are essentially supporting this form of entertainment. And then it got into a whole thing that I've been noticing really in this state is I would find out about events like 2 days after the event happened or the night before it was going to happen. It's just this, we have a lot of resources but no real connection in order to find out what's going on in the state, not just Albuquerque, but the state. So that's where New Mexico Entertainment was born. And it's been an over 10-year growth of really just researching and talking to people, and it started with celebrities that came into town that were filming or that owned, property that was here. We got to interview George R.R. Martin, and he loved Jean Cocteau. He talked about buying that theater. So it was just this build, and just even learning about the talent, the music we have here.
Let me stop you though. How do you keep track of everything? Like if it's a statewide thing, how do you get ahead of a concert or something that's coming to town?
It's the connections. It's really, once you meet one person, that one person will have a connect that I don't have. So as long as I'm constantly talking with people, that's how it works. Like I wish I could say I was this organized machine that could like keep track of everything, but no, I got some good connects.
It's probably more fun for you that way. I think that if you have things too planned out, there's no spontaneity. That's kind of how we run this show. If you haven't noticed, no one's ever accused of being so organized. Is this
well
scripted?
scripted.
Yes, it is. There's a 5-year-old with a crayon who can't write fast enough. So I really like the fact that you have a different scope of what you think needs to be told. And sometimes media can be monopolized until someone decides what everyone needs to know. Now we kind of have an ear to the ground approach, and you have a different take on, different exposures and illustration of what we've got here. So I love that. I think that there should be many depths of what people find interesting and touting that. So that's good on you.
I think really, for me, one of the biggest things is I feel there is it's always the who you know situation. With a lot of publications that are here, you're either going to have to pay to get that kind of exposure, or you just have to know somebody that you can get it. And I really wanted to create a space that everybody had a level playing field. And so if you were a small organization that was doing an event that needed, that focus, or even a big one that was coming in, we wanted to be able to create a space where if anything was related, without any of the mess, like no opinion pieces, no political anything. If it's an event or about entertainment, we want it in the publication.
Yeah.
So that's what we wanted to create.
So how does that work? So if we're throwing a big event or a party or something, what do we give you, like a month notice, 2-week notice?
Yeah, we do everything a month in advance, which is, that's a lesson learned in this town. Like honestly, I think people start promoting like 2 weeks prior to the event. I'm like, come on guys, let's work on this. So yeah, our publication is monthly. So we are a month ahead for each publication that's produced.
One thing I like about the New Mexico Entertainment Magazine is that it's not just in print form. You guys take it a step further and do digital interviews and interview people to kind of piggyback off the print magazine.
Yeah, I mean, it was really important to me that I want to do print. In fact, we're heading back to that. COVID just really derailed that. But I mean, I had to come to terms with, digital is in everybody's wheelhouse. Like you have to have that with your business. So it was important to me that, while there was the written word that people could read, that for those who were just like, no, I need to see it. I need to see it. We had that as well.
I like that. I think that the you evolving is impressive because a lot of people become dinosaurs and stagnant on a certain type of I guess avenue in print. But I'm a guy who likes to like hold it in my hand. Sometimes I don't want to look at a screen. What a nice reprieve to hold something in your hand. But the hybrid that you have is impressive and speaks to some people. Some people might write you off if it was only online.
Yeah.
They would go, that's not my cup of tea. But now you kind of cater to both parties. And it's also good that you have upcoming concerts because Skip is so tired of missing Yanni coming into town.
He's great.
He gets livid. He gets livid. And then we'll talk about how the Beach Boys got their start in your magazine. Also, I found that impressive trivia.
Yeah.
Strangely enough, I have a Beach Boys history moment. I got to meet them when I was a little kid in middle school. We got to perform at one of their concerts. And
Really?
Wait, what were you performing?
Yeah, it was. They came out to Albuquerque. I'm trying to remember if I think we were at one of the football fields. It might have been UNM's big football, but they performed for a halftime show, and they gathered all the kids from middle schools that they created a dance for us to do.
Okay.
And so we got to perform with the concert. This was a long time ago. But
Cue up the video, Mark.
But what was it? Mike Love, I believe, is the lead singer. I tossed a bear that I was carrying. I tossed it. One of my friends pointed and he got it and waved it. And I was like, oh my God, I just remembered that like a few weeks ago telling that story to somebody. So,
I want to say, and here's something funny. I do want to say that I have seen a video of this online, and I'm not saying we have it, but I do recall it was like in one of those Facebook groups. It was like Albuquerque. Remember when? And the Beach Boys came.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I've seen that. Anyways, that was
And then
you.
they later opened up the Beach Water Park. A lot of people don't know that.
That's actually they are the
The
Founders.
Dance 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 with the Teen thing was
my
actually
goodness, yep.
invented by the Beach Boys.
In the black hole.
And then you originally had to luau, and then they threw that out. And then that's when the spray paint came out.
And now everything's
pregnancies from
covered
15-year-olds.
in
you guys
needles.
get through a show. Okay.
This will probably be our last episode. So we just want to get you in here, and
So, anyways, can we talk about how you want to sponsor our show?
and we do cater to everyone. It's brought to you by Dion. Speaking of catering, and Manzano High School, home of the Dion's training. We got derailed.
You were going to be so much.
Do you want to Okay, so let's talk about. You have a show on Channel 27, and we are not mad at that. We're not competitors. We have different advertisers. Xerox, we have Xerox, and you have Jaguar, and these are two different things.
Ooh, I wish.
Don't blow it. We got them convinced.
No, but talk a little bit about advertising, because I think in our space, in our digital media space, I think that's important to eventually at some point, you have to bring on advertisers. So do you have a team in place that helps facilitate advertising? Or?
Yeah, it's funny. I think a lot of people they see New Mexico Entertainment and they're thinking that it's some big conglomerate. It's like me and two other people that have to log. Yeah, so and sometimes it's just me. I'm just that dedicated to our entertainment and events here in the state.
That's a royal we. I like it though. I mean, it's good to
see. And it's funny how you talked about like it was just this entity. I went so long that people knew about the events I did, but didn't know I did them. So I mean, we do the Rocky Horror Picture Show every year at the Guild.
Okay. Yeah.
And I had a person literally talk to me like, "Oh my God, have you been to the Rocky Horror Picture Show at the
I
Guild?"
like that.
Familiar.
Yeah,
No, I mean, someone said, whoever set this up is genius, though. You just walk into all your events. Who did this?
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yep.
I'm just floored.
It's just-
hey, come
yeah.
here. Do you see what's going on?
Look at this
This
rug.
had to have been a lot of time spent. How did they pull this off? I'm going to pass out. I would love to just come in and like UABQ, now that we've blown our cover, just come in and be, oh, they did it again.
I
God
can't
damn it,
believe
they did
season
it
4
again.
is here.
How did they pull off season 3? I thought they had heat exhaustion.
But yeah, I mean that's when you love something so much and you're so dedicated. That's what I mean. It was exciting for me to see people's reactions to something that I created.
I was going to ask what your biggest charge was. Is it putting something on and watching that? Or?
Yeah, that's what it is for me.
Okay.
It's never been. Honestly, if anybody ever wanted to get into this field, like I could tell them right now, if you're getting in it for the money or like just don't.
We know that firsthand.
Don't.
We don't have a pot to piss in.
It's for the passion of doing it.
Wait, you guys are getting paid for this?
Money, but yeah, just every time we look back at like video or photos of what was created, it's just like, wow, I did that. Even with the award show, we put that together, and this is rarity. I don't usually throw an event together like within 4 to 5 months. It's usually a year out. But we really wanted to get this one out, and we created a whole awards event within like less than.
Well, we wanted to thank you for our award. I know you wanted to break it on the show.
The confetti comes. I just
Mark,
open
party
up
horn.
champagne and Skip's eyes. When is the award show? So we know when.
Yeah, when do we get this award?
We did it again. Damn it!
Thanks, Mark.
They said it couldn't be done.
They couldn't
3
say-
consecutive years, the best show
Look at-
ever.
and show, yeah, this is our awards cabinet right here. All the things we've won.
Where do you think we got this real tree from?
I'm never gonna hear the end of this.
When are the awards? Though,
When
so
is
we
the
know
gala?
when to put in our
So the
tab?
gala is on July 6th
Okay.
at the Albuquerque Marriott Pyramid. Is where we're having it.
July 6th, Albuquerque Marriott Pyramid.
We like to go to galas and then bid up packages, and then the guy who's hosting adds $3,500 and goes winner, and we're like, we like the charity, but what the hell, man? So when we're going to Hawaii again.
Yeah, guess we're dating.
Yeah, speaking of Beach Boys, that's us. Yeah. So we actually would like to hold some events, but we aren't ready for the bomb threats to make them. What would you think our first event should be? Now that what do you think we should do? What would
You
be
guys need to team up with like a comedy show. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
What, let someone steal our thunder?
Yeah, right.
We want to be the focus. We're
You
the
done
stars.
with Bozo's jokes here?
Yeah,
Wow,
this
we
guy-
ready to really laugh, everyone? Woo. Just roast him.
This guy
Is
thought he
any of
was
you that
telling
are
jokes.
awake, I'm coming out. This guy's a hack.
But Teresa, I think you have, you've worked so hard, and I think your background, you went to school for digital media or for
Yep,
print media.
advertising art. I got a associate's degree in advertising art, which of course quickly did not turn into this fabulous job at a design agency. So I started my own. That's how a lot of things happened for me. I'm like, if it's not happening, I'll just make it happen.
That is kind of cool that you can, you're one-stop shop. You can do it all, and you don't have to farm anything out.
Yeah, but there's a problem with that, is you get into that mode of,
Everything.
well, I'll just do it myself. And if you want to grow, you can't stay in that mode.
I can make dioramas like you did in elementary school. If you just want a scene, I can do like a shoebox, and I'm like, here's what it looked like. Is that an actual reenactment? I
Are
don't
those
know.
real people in there?
Yeah.
It's that good. It's that good.
Well, I think it's great because the goal of the show is just to kind of highlight people that came from Albuquerque, built something out of nothing, and I think that you've got something really great here, and it's awesome that you're here to share it with us. So where can people? We have links to your website, and we'll have that in the show notes. But if someone's got an event coming up, we're just going to put your cell phone number, your home phone number.
That's it. Put my address up there.
We're taking reservations with Social Security numbers and your mom's maiden name and your best friend from high school.
Well, if they go to gblissdesigns.com, they will find everything that we do. So the
Right.
branding agency, New Mexico Entertainment, and Pride and Equality.
And for awareness and information, I think that is a genuine illustration. You're saying, hey, if no cost or whatever, like I'm showing you what's out there, and so that's mutually beneficial.
Yep.
Like you become a resource.
I'm hoping people realize that it's a resource. That was the biggest thing for me. And I'm also hoping that advertisers, as we keep trying to educate, will start, like, if they're in an entertainment or events field, start advertising in an entertainment or events publication. Like, it's no use for you being in a magazine where you're going to get lost in ads.
Yeah.
Actually be a part of something that wants to be a partner with you.
I
That's
think
how
you
I'm
could
looking
come at it like doing baton competitions. Like, so he's retired, but I think we could have him
could
do
get
his
back
baton
into it.
again.
I can get back into it. My wrists
They
are
called
so
him
strong.
Louis Baton. Come on, Mark.
Mark,
Boss!
you had one shot.
Mark, you have one job!
Mark overdosed again. Get that needle out of your arm.
Teresa, thank you so much for sharing your story. We appreciate it. We'll have links to all your websites and everything else. And yeah, good story, man.
Yeah, that's good. The magazine, awesome. Yeah, thank you.
Coming up next, here's why you're going to want to stay tuned as we wrap up the show. It's everybody's favorite Skip's Tips. This is YouABQ.
People are just dying.
Just die.
We're back. Segment 3, thank you, Teresa Robinson. That was a fun segment, and your magazine speaks for volumes of people. You may want to turn up the volume because we're headed for Skip's tips. Marriage saving.
Oh, that's right.
Didn't see you there.
It's a cozy episode of Skip's Tips, ladies. Anything that saves us time, makes us more money, allows us to have more fun, whether that's in real estate or in real life. As you know, I'm renovating my home, and I thought it'd be fun to talk about renovating blunders. Top 3 things that first-time renovation people do that cost them money. Number 1, budget blunders. When you're doing a renovation, it's so important to understand the costs. Get multiple bids from contractors and shop around. You're typically going to find the best prices online, but that comes with some risk in the fact that you never know if those things are going to get delivered on time. Number 2, luxury overload. Don't over-improve a property for the neighborhood. Be sure you understand what the comparable properties look like. If all the properties are Southwestern and Adobe style, don't renovate a property to be mid-century modern because maybe it won't fit into the aesthetic of the neighborhood, and you don't want to over-improve it because you may not get that money back when you go to sell. And number 3, inspection oversights. Just because you're renovating a property doesn't mean you don't need to have it inspected up front. Hire a professional inspector to check underneath the house, on top of the roof, and all the systems so that you understand if there's going to be issues down the road. You want to get those repairs done first before you start investing more money into the rehab. Questions on where to find the best deals for flipping homes? Just shoot me a message. I'll send you a list of homes priced to sell. Oh, share this with a friend and tell them Skip said so.
Here's my son, skim people.
Hey.
This is natural. Where do I look? Are we back on there? Hi. If you're as concerned as I am, you and a friend.
For $1 a day.
You and a friend have scoliosis. Call me. No, you know what I like the part about flipping houses is I actually used to be that strong. But then I grew up and I stopped flipping houses.
Oh, I just one-hand them?
I'm like, yeah, and I'd be like, okay, heads or tails, or, there goes your home.
Look at me,
home.
look how short I am.
Do you remember the home
Of the
your
$1 install.
Let's bring that guy out.
Audio Express?
Bill Audio from Audio Express.
Bill de Blasio?
Here's one thing I wanted to bring up, and it's a serious moment. This is a talk to the camera.
Take a knee.
You should always call your HOA if you're thinking about building a moat, which is the most secure thing you can do for your house.
Yeah, gators. Gators notify. Hey, join us every Wednesday
sleep
night.
on your shoulder.
Wednesday night and Sunday mornings here on Channel 96. This is YouABQ.
This show is not scripted. This wrestling stuff. Dude.
You're watching YouABQ.